Samsung phones are easily the most powerful and popular Android phones you can get in the United States, but they are far from perfect. You would think that if you spend $1,300 on something like the Galaxy S26 Ultra, you'd get a phone that is 100% bloatware free when you take it out of the box. Instead, it's the opposite. There are so many apps and services pre-installed on the S26 Ultra that you didn't ask for, which are taking up space, draining your battery, and in some cases, making your phone less secure. Well, today, I'm going to show you how you can take back control of your Galaxy phone. So there are essentially two ways to uninstall bloatware. The first is the simple but slow way. This involves going to every app on your phone that you don't want, long pressing it, and then uninstalling it. There are two problems with this method though. First, it takes a long time to do as there are literally dozens of apps pre-installed on a Galaxy phone. I know you think that this is all there is, and that doesn't seem that bad, but when you go into Android settings and pull up the real list of apps, it's a mile long. This could take you hours. The second problem is that some of those apps can't be uninstalled. For example, Google Meet is pre-installed on this phone and can't be uninstalled by the typical method. It can only be disabled, which basically just hides the app from your home screen and app drawer, but it is still there, taking up space on your phone. So if you want a way to completely uninstall anything you don't want, there is a more complicated method that gives you the power to uninstall almost everything. I'm going to show you how to do that now on this Galaxy S26 Ultra, which has been factory reset back to its original configuration. Before I begin, you're going to need two things: a computer with internet access and a USB cable. Preferably, use the cable that came with your phone, but if you don't have that, use a high-quality cable with data transfer support. This method works on Windows, Mac, and Linux, but I'm a Windows guy, so I'm going to show the Windows method. The process should be very similar on Mac and Linux, but I won't be demonstrating them here. Now, this is essentially a foolproof method for doing this. If you follow all my instructions to the letter, you'll have no issues at all. But just to cover myself, everything you do here is at your own risk, so be sure to take your time and make sure you don't miss anything. Okay, the first step is to prepare your phone. Don't worry, we're not going to root the phone or do anything dangerous. We just need to turn on a feature that is off by default on Galaxy phones. First, head to Android settings and then scroll down to tap Security and Privacy. Down here is a service called Auto Blocker. You can tap into it to read more, but essentially what this does is prevent you from doing things on your phone that could potentially lead to security and privacy vulnerabilities. I think this is overkill and it's just more annoying than anything else. We're going to turn this off to do what we need to do today and then remove it entirely so you can do with your phone as you wish. With that off, we can now activate the feature we need to. In Android settings, scroll all the way to the bottom and tap on About Phone. Tap on Software Information and then find your build number. Tap this 7 times. Enter your PIN and you'll have turned on developer options successfully. Go back twice and you'll see we now have a new item in Android settings called Developer Options. Tap that and you'll see a very long list of new things you can do. You don't need to touch anything here except for one setting, which is this one, USB debugging. You want to turn that toggle on. When you get the alert about it, hit OK. And that's it. This phone is now ready to be debloated. For the next steps, we need to move to the computer. Before we begin, we need to install 3 things: Android Studio, Samsung drivers, and a piece of open source software called Universal Android Debloater Next Generation. There are links in this video's description to everything you need, so pause the video and download them all. Once you've got them, come on back and I'll walk you through the installation. The first thing we want to do is install the Samsung drivers, which is really easy. Just double-click the Samsung USB driver installer and follow the prompts. It can take a while, so I'm speeding up the process here to save time. When it's done, click Finish, and that's it for this step. Next, let's install Android Studio. This is a 2-part process. First, double-click the Android Studio installer and follow the prompts as usual. You shouldn't need to change anything here, so just keep clicking through until the install happens. At the end, click Next, make sure this little box is checked, and then click Finish. Android Studio will automatically start up for the first time. This brings us to the second part of installing Android Studio, which is to run through the initial setup. You can decline to send Google data, no reason to share that with them. When you get to this section about installing an SDK, just run through the prompts. When you get to this screen, accept the terms, hit next, and the necessary files will download and install. When it's all done, hit finish, and you'll see the Welcome to Android Studio screen. Once you see this, you're done with this step, so just close it out. Okay, we're at the final prep step. Open up File Explorer, click on the address bar, and navigate to this address. I'll put this in the video's description so you can easily copy and paste it. Once you're in this folder, Platform Tools, all you need to do is drag and drop the UAD-NG program into the folder. The reason we're doing this is that the program relies on stuff inside Android Studio to work, so it needs to be here. Once you've moved it, you're done with the setup. Now it's time to debloat your Samsung phone. Double-click the UAD-NG file in the Platform Tools folder and it will open up the program. You'll see this alert about how it can't find ADB files, but then it will quickly change to an alert about how it's trying to find devices. If it hangs on the alert about ADB files and never starts looking for devices, that means you didn't move the program to the correct folder location. Roll back the video and watch again to be sure it's in the correct place. Once you see this Finding Devices page, it's time to plug in your Galaxy phone. Use your USB cable to connect your phone to your PC. You'll see this pop-up appear asking to allow USB debugging. Go ahead and tap the Always Allow option and then hit Allow. For safety reasons, this only starts your phone charging, so we need to tell it to actually send data to and from the PC. Drop down your notifications, tap the USB for charging phone alert, and on this page, choose Transferring Files /Android Auto. Enter your PIN to approve the connection. With all that done, we're finally ready to debloat your phone. Hit the refresh button to find your phone, and you'll see a bunch of stuff populate. The interface for the Android Debloater software is really simple. This is a list of nearly 200 applications and services on the Galaxy S26 Ultra that you don't actually need. You can go through each and every one if you want, but I'm going to keep things simple and just stick with this list. You can see up here that these are the recommended apps for removal, but you have other options like Advanced, Expert, Unsafe, and others. If I were you, I wouldn't mess with any of that, as you might find yourself uninstalling stuff you actually want, and that will just create more work. Just to be crystal clear on this, anything you uninstall here can just be reinstalled, so you can't really brick your phone with this software. However, if you start uninstalling stuff without knowing what it is or why, you could face issues. So take my advice and stick with the recommended options. Okay, hit this Select All checkbox to choose all the recommended apps and then the Review Selection button. This shows you that in this phone's case, we are going to uninstall 170 apps and services. You can see Facebook is in here, SkyDrive, aka OneDrive, Qualcomm location services, a whole slew of Samsung junk apps, and a lot more. Hit apply and the software will uninstall everything it can. You'll probably get some errors here of apps that it can't uninstall, but these are usually related to security, like this one for Knox, so that's fine, just leave them alone. Once the process is finished, that's it. You can go ahead and unplug your phone and check to see how much stuff got removed. So on my Galaxy S26 Ultra, a lot of the stuff is gone. Google Meet couldn't be uninstalled previously, but now it's not there. There are still a few stragglers here like Google TV and Drive. It also looks like Facebook and Instagram didn't get removed either, even though we saw their names on the list. Meta really doesn't want you to uninstall these. Don't worry though, because you can just manually uninstall these stragglers and that's that. Ultimately, what you decide to do at this point is up to you. I just manually uninstalled everything left over that I could, so all that's left behind are these apps, the few that are integral to the Android system and can't or shouldn't be removed. Look at that, 11 apps. Now, your Samsung phone is officially debloated and anything you install from this point on is what you want installed, not what Samsung or its partners want you to have. Okay, I hope this has been helpful for you. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to hear me talk more about Samsung stuff, check out this video up here, which encourages Samsung fans and Pixel fans to just get along. I'll see you all down in the comments.